Well, very good evening to you and welcome to David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina, the site of a continuation of your SFL Super Saturday here in week 4 of season 25. These two teams both on the opposite ends of the spectrum to start this season. Carolina still chasing that opening win of the season under that man, Mikhail Pajak under center. Houston have won their opening 2 games of the campaign. Alongside me to co-commentate this one with you this evening is none other than, for the second time this season, DJ Kilgannon. DJ, what's going on and what are your keys to this fixture tonight?
Thank you for the warm welcome, my friend. So happy to be with you once again. You know, one thing I looked at when I was coming into this game is the fact that this Houston offensive line has gone off to a rough start. They've given up 8 sacks combined in their first 2 games. However, the Skyhawks defense have struggled a lot when it comes to pressuring the quarterback. So I'm curious to see which side of the coin will, prevail and actually have a game that makes them step up in this one, because I feel like we're going to see one of those 2 sides of the coin prevail in this one.
I'm Jacob Clear. That's the familiar voice of DJ Kilgannon. We've got Eddie Gage and Ron Haynes, bit of an all-star stats crew, running the numbers for us tonight. This is the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. It'll be Houston to return honors on the road this evening. A good return up past the 25, just to the 25, in fact, is where the Headhunters offense will take over. Led out by quarterback John Lakeman, the backs Tino Sosa and Warren Murray, Hattori Hanzo, the fullback Greg Corky, DR Sim and Mac Chima, the 3 receivers, Daisy Peace, the tight end, offensive line of Britt Gorski, Barry Simeon, Emmanuel Petrilla, Sarah Bergens, and Scott Calvin at the center spot. Houston are going to go to an empty look straight away. 4 wide plus the tight end in Peace on the left-hand side of the line. Drop back by Lakeman has good protection up front, throws deep into double coverage. It is incomplete. Early look for Mac Chima. You noted in pre-game, DJ, that Chima and Corky both on milestone watch and chasing each other in terms of touchdowns. They both got injured last week in that win that they had back at home. We're trying to stay on the field today to assist the Hall of Famer DR Sim, who leads this receiving corps. 2nd down and 10 in a single back. Lakeman's going to throw again downfield. Heaves it. That's caught at the 45. It is an early look at number 80, DR Sim.
Yeah, 2 quick passes out of the gate for Houston, sticking with the look they had last week of passing it over the middle, sticking with that matchup quite early. And yeah, like you said, Jacob, Greg Corky and Mac Chima both tied 10th all-time in receiving touchdowns at 89. Very excited to see if they're able to stay on the field tonight, which of them will separate themselves a little bit from the other.
One of them will break the top 10 at the expense of the other. We expect they'll be chasing each other for most of their campaign here with the Headhunters. That run to the left-hand side is going to get 5. Good opening touch there for Tino Sosa.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're Houston in this one, you're going to want to mix in a little bit more of the run than you did last week. Carolina is the type of squad that can punish you defensively if you try and pass over the middle too much. A lot of great linebacker play.
There'll be another run. This one goes to Murray, and that will gain a yard. It'll be a 3rd down and 4.
You know, like we have said, trying to keep things balanced here is this Houston offense. 2 passes, then 2 back-to-back runs. Keeps the defense on the back of their toes. Anything is on the table right now.
3rd down and medium here. It'll be a throw across the middle and incomplete. Tried to find intended target there. No good from John Lakeman there. They'll have to punt this one away on the opening drive.
Yeah, I like the idea of trying to pass there, right? Just not risking the run. Those last 2 runs, not exactly what you like if you're the Houston offense. They're a very explosive rushing attack, right? It's a lot of all or nothing for them. And, speaking of their rushing attack, nice return there. This is a team that rushed so well, especially last season, Jacob. It's really interesting to see how they've kind of slowed down a little bit. Of course, it's only been the first 2 weeks. Still winning both of those games, but the number's not as high as we'd usually see from the Houston team.
Lily Nakai, the former Arizona Scorpion tight end on punt returns for Carolina tonight. Might be the biggest punt returner active in the SFL. That hand off to the outside, first run for Carolina is going to be a good one. It started a yard behind the line of scrimmage, and in the end, Mateo Bravado is going to get some forward progress, gets 5 on that touch.
First rush of the game for Bravado, marks their 600th carry all time here in the SFL, and a great one. Cuts the yardage in half.
This handoff to the outside is going to get a couple more. With 3rd down and short, good shut down by the corner in Kai Cash to prevent that one from going forward. We'll see if Mikael Pajak has his first pass attempt here on the 3rd down and short. If they go to the ground again, projects to be the latter. 2 tight ends in the form. It'll be a handoff to the outside. They're going to try and get Bravado forward, but it's not going to happen. They'll lose a yard there as Jason Peace shuts that one down at the line.
Yeah, and we talked about how Carolina is a team, it's hard to pass through the middle of their defense because of how strong their linebacking core is. You talk about a strong linebacking core. I think Houston fits the bill more than almost anyone in here in the SFL. Jacob, Jason Peace, Quan Mississippi, and Blake B. Craze is a trio of gentlemen that'll make any quarterback shiver, right? And showing there, so good at attacking the outside runs, so quick at shooting gaps and reading the runs as they're developing.
Brown did what he could there, but Houston are going to have the football 3 yards shy of halfway on their second possession. Last week was a very forgettable one for Carolina. They got swept really by the Detroit Maulers on the road. They'll be comfortable back here at home, but stiff opposition today in this Houston side. Lakeman to run. He's going to pick up 5 on the scramble. He's shut down by Stinson and company after a gain of 5.
Just doing what you can with what you have. Lakeman not afraid to take a hit at the end of that run. Trying to take off. I've seen him do it a few times this season, actually. As long as 26, he gets going when he can.
Into a Joker's looking at a flip receiver onto the other side of the formation. Houston's going to go back to the ground here. It'll be a handoff to the outside. That's Murray. And he will pick up a few, gives them a 3rd and short. Bit of history about that gentleman. Obviously, a long-time Houston player for several seasons, then crossed over to Baltimore. Baltimore ceased operations last season, and he's back in the fold for his 9th season with this Houston outfit. Into a 3rd down and short. Projects to be a carry for Tino Sosa. It will be, and Carolina has shut it down again. Danny Stinson with another big tackle, and Houston's second drive ends in a 3 and out.
I mean, they shot the gap so quickly. I love the decision to run the ball, and we will see the challenge flag. I was curious if we were, but I don't know about you, Jacob. That one certainly looked short. I'm sure we'll get a much better angle at it than the previous.
It was close at first glance. Looked like the call on the field may have been the correct one, but Houston will exercise one of their 2 challenges here inside the first 5 minutes of the game.
Oh, that's not much better. Oh, here we go.
Looked like Stinson got him right on time there.
I think you're right. Yep.
That verdict is reflected, so Houston loses a timeout in one of their challenges, and will have to punt this one back. So a bit of a stifled start, but again, this was dissimilar to the game that they had a week ago against Detroit. They couldn't quite get it going, and then Detroit really pulled away once they got that ground game going.
Ooh, they're going to go for it.
Makes sense. You've got Warren Murray in the backfield. Only half a yard to gain. It'll be a toss play to the outside, and Warren Murray's going to get it. Carolina sent the pressure forward, but it was not quite enough.
Yeah, risky there, trying to go with the pitch, right, rather than the direct route right up the middle. You could say that, but on the last attempt they tried to do that, and it didn't work out in their favor, so they switched things up, and they do get that inch.
And up to the outside, that's going to be a carry for Sosa on the change of pace. It will gain 3 there on that touch. And Houston very intent to put things on the ground. This is the Damon Simeon way of previous seasons. Loves this 2-way back tandem. Delayed handoff now to Murray. It's shut down at the line of scrimmage. They read that one well, Carolina. It will be shut down by Phil Hall, and they will have to deal with a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, see, now you're in a situation where you're forced to pass, but Houston's completely okay with that. They can pass the ball very well, so when they're forced to, it's not too foreign.
Lakeman does get it away, a great deflection. Stinson's having a really good opening quarter.
It sure is, and that's some of that great linebacker play that we talk about here on this Skyhawk squad, right? They're a team that they want to make it a passing down here on third down, so they know it's coming because they know that they can cover the middle of the field well.
Sonny J to make it 4 consecutive punts to start this game. Bit of contact off the ball there, and it's going to sail out of bounds. Got a decent bounce there on the punt, so Carolina should be spotted around the 20-yard line. They'll be 2 yards shy of it. Jack yet to throw a pass. He's in a bunch here, so it could be a passing situation here on the first down. It will be a handoff, though, to the outside, and Pravado, his second carry, only gets a yard. So this Houston linebacking core knows the task ahead with the former Vancouver Legion fullback, and have woken up to it early.
And it's Mac Dre playing cleanup there. Whenever you get stuck behind your own blockers, especially against this Houston defense, you just can't let that happen because they're not going to take it for granted, and they will take advantage of the opportunity and get a nice tackle.
So right here, it will be a throw by Pajak. Looking for Chase Earl, and he's got him just shy of the 40-yard line.
Yeah, very nice there. A risky throw, but one that connects. Miko Pajak, a former Anchorage Wolf down in the minor leagues, just tosses that one over the hands of the defender, Al Ingram III. Jacob, we called him the Polish Rifle over in Anchorage, and he's showing off that arm strength there.
First pass of the day is a completion. The second one is not. It was nearly a completion to the other team there, as that one went in and out of the hands of big Blake B. Craze in the middle of that Houston defense. Mac Dre, Don Raw, Alex Dominguez, and Anthony Stover, the defensive line for this outfit. Jason Peace and one Mississippi with Blake B. Craze, and that linebacking core secondary of Dustin Sikorsky, John Barnhart, Kai Cash, Guy Incognito, Al Ingram, and Chris Henry. Deep throw is caught. Pajak is 2 of 3, and he has spotted Chase Earl in the middle of the field once again.
What a terrific throw. You're going to get another look at it here. You got just a straight seam up the middle and a terrific throw. You split both defenders. That top safety playing on the outside shoulder leads them inside, makes the catch before that other safety can get there. And talk about the offensive line. Such a great display of blocking. He could have filed his taxes in that pocket.
Enough time for me to get through all the intros there. That throw to the outside, there's space for the receiver there as it was caught by Chris Curtis, who was very quiet in that Detroit game. Good to get him involved early. Picks up 9 and change. With second down and short, that keeps the playbook nice and open. Into a heavy Joker's look here. They run it on second down and just try and get the guaranteed first. They do. Pravado open space. Will get 4 beyond the required 1. And Carolina's in the SFL red zone for the first time tonight.
I mean, this Carolina offense in the past 2 weeks has just felt really slow, Jacob. I mean, their passing yards, that's for second to last here in the SFL. They're passing very well in this drive.
Pajak in an empty end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Chase Earl, 3 for 3 on the drive.
And as the words come out of my mouth, Miko Pajak connects for his second touchdown here in the SFL in his rookie campaign. It's that same exact route we saw earlier that got that huge chunk of yardage. And, I mean, they go right back to the well if it's not broken. Why fix it? The top safety playing way too far off. Very soft coverage, and Miko Pajak takes advantage of it.
Ryan Brown set to add the extras. And the Skyhawks in chase of that first win with Pajak under center. He has delivered on that drive. A huge possession from number 12, Chase Earl. 3 receptions. He got them all the way downfield and connects the deep ball. And Carolina have opening score of the game.
He's already got more receptions in this game, Jacob, than he did in the other 2 combined. Only had 60 in those last 2 as we see some laundry on the field.
It's going to knock Houston back a touch. He's recapping that a 7-play, 82-yard drive, resulting in that 18-yard passing touchdown there from Pajak to Earl. well, I don't think they were going to let that one go.
Certainly not.
Which means the Headhunters will take over at their 15-yard line. Not a huge drama in the scheme of things. They'll start here in a single back triple formation, one tight end to the right-hand side. They're going to stack the 3 receivers to the left. It'll be just a straight handoff to Warren Murray. Bit of a patchy start so far for the veteran tailback. Picked up 3 with that touch.
You'd probably like to see a change at the line of scrimmage there. You saw them motion the receiver over to make it trip. That was Chima, the motion receiver. And no one really moved for the Carolina defense, showing a zone look, and then they try and attack the weak side with a run, and the defenders were all still there, able to close things up quickly.
To a joker's look, Houston. A play fake from Lakeman, and he's found a receiver downfield. Good play calling from the Houston sideline. DR Sims got his second grab.
Yeah, great play calling, great play action. You can see the edge rusher there. As the play action was being made, the edge rusher followed the runner, right? So a very believable fake handoff there from Lakeman, giving him enough time to find that pass over the middle, because if that defender wouldn't have followed the back, it would have been a sack in the favor of the Skyhawks.
And quick pass as well from Lakeman, respecting the defensive line. He's got rid of it again downfield, and Houston starting to get the passing attack going. It is DR Sim once again.
22 catches coming into this game, Jacob. We saw an explosion of production for him last week, and they continue that into this week. Another great catch for DR Sim. It's why he's one of the best of all time. He makes those catches in traffic.
Lakeman yet to spot any of his other receivers so far. Might do on this possession. Downfield throw is caught. They've hit it again. It's the same play, and it has hit a different receiver on this occasion at the very least. It's Greg Corky with his first catch.
Yeah, they're just attacking that softer coverage, right? Lakeman's watching the read. He's trying to keep an eye on that safety and the linebacker. You see the linebacker taking a step up there. That leaves that underneath throw open. All Lakeman has to do is make sure he doesn't overthrow it, making it vulnerable to the safety, but he's the type of quarterback that can make those throws almost in his sleep.
Houston encroaching on the red zone for the first time tonight. Throw to the flats is caught by Murray. Beats the first tackle, not the second. Look who's there again. Danny Stinson starting to piece together quite the afternoon. It is no gain on that screen pass. Quarter done. Here, Carolina leads at home over the 2-0 Headhunters. The Skyhawks chasing their first win of season 26. Aerial coverage of today's game provided by Dags Droneworks, aerial photography and videography services for real estate events, marketing and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. I'm Jacob Clear, that is DJ Kilgannon in co-commentary. Pleasure to have your company. We've got Ron Haynes and Eddie Gage running the numbers and stats for us this evening. Lakeman to throw on the second down. Looks downfield. Incomplete, looking for Sim. And it is broken up at the back by Davidson Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph there, who had a tremendous week last week, continues that production in today. Great hit there on DR Sim. I thought that one would be caught 100% of the time, but able to get a hand in between the hands of DR Sim and force that one to the turf.
Lakeman will want to convert the third down along to get points on the board this drive. Rolls out the pocket and he had an option, but DR Sim was double covered in the end zone. They had their best look at it there and he went for all of the marbles but comes up short.
Yeah, that's Joseph and Rochelle Colston there in coverage. Those two safeties over the top, meeting in the middle. That one just slightly over the hands of DR Sim. Jacob, if that one's on the mark, may be able to pull that in.
So Sonny J will be tasked with a 48-yard attempt to try and get Houston's first points on the board for this evening. Swings this one from right to left. It's going to stay in the middle, and it is good. So Houston gets the points on the board. It'll be 7 points to 3 as they trail the Carolina Skyhawks.
The 5th of their season. They've only been able to score 4 combined touchdowns in their wins on offense, Jacob. That's their 5th field goal. Sonny J certainly making their money worth up to this point in the season.
Carolina will get the football back. They have the lead thanks to that receiving touchdown from Chase Earl. Leland Nakai again on returns. She's on a mission this evening. Gets that one to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, I mean, not often do you see a fullback out there, but I mean, it's working. Look at that stiff arm. Gets into some open field. I mean, you're not Superman. Can't break 2 tackles, but I mean, not a bad return. Gets you out past the 25. You'll take it.
It was a good last possession from Mikael Pajak, and this offense can they convert here again. Get a second score on the board here on this possession. Early throw is caught. That's going to be a gain of 8. Opens the playbook up here on a 2nd down and short opening catch of the game for Adam Banks.
Those are the type of quick reads you want, especially coming in from a rookie quarterback. You got the slant coming in from the outside. He sees the corner, get behind the slant, and that's all you need to see. Throw it to the inside. It's going to be caught.
And off to Ike McBride is going to get maybe a yard there. Her 2nd season back with this ball club.
This guy Incognito playing pretty close to the box there. A very good run supporting safety. Leads this team in tackles coming into this week just shy of 20.
With 3rd down and short, they're going to run the toss play as Houston did on the 4th down that we saw earlier. And there's an injury. McBride might have caught a victim here. It's John Barnhart who has fallen down.
No good. Hate to see it. Houston struggling with injuries early on in this season. Saw a handful last week. Another already here in the 2nd quarter.
Got 2 really good games here on this Saturday evening block, and both now have the same scoreline. Miami's just taken the lead over Birmingham thanks to a 1-yard receiving touchdown to Ivory Irvin. Carolina, meanwhile, with the lead here. Pajak to throw outside. That is caught. Another one, this time Jack Flash. So they found all but 1 receiver, and Nakai has been involved on special teams, so they've all been touching the ball. And Flash has a 1st down for the Skyhawks.
I love that read, Jacob. Mikael Pajak, his eyes are on number 20, Al Ingram, on the defense. He sees him break to help cover the flat, and that's when he immediately throws it over the top of his head. Terrific read there.
Rollout by Pajak. Has time. He's thrown it to Houston. Jason Peace has taken it away, and Houston's going to have a 5-yard shy halfway.
We talked about it on the previous drive, Jacob. The most dangerous part of both of these defenses, Houston's especially, is this linebacking core. Such dominant linebackers. And it's a great concept, right? They're doing levels. They run a deep post across the middle and then a slant underneath. You're trying to get Jason Peace to make a decision on who to cover. He chooses the further receiver. Mikael Pajak, the rookie, struggles to read the concept, still throws it his way. Great pick by Peace going the other way.
Houston with the football back. It's going to be an early throw. They've enjoyed these screens to the backfield. And that will be a 4-yard game for Hanzo. And really as well on that point, I mean, Jason Peace is, at least to my knowledge, one of the best pass coverage linebackers in our game. Someone who's so valuable to this defense. He was right up there in the Defensive Player of the Year standings last season for his efforts to get this team into the playoffs. And he has shown again why he's so dangerous in those middle parts of the field. Toss play to the outside. It'll be Warren Murray, and he will pick up a couple. I'll be short of the 1st down mark. Danny Stinson's been everywhere so far. Shuts that one down. Should be a 3rd and 1 or 2.
Seems like Houston okay with, interesting spot there. I certainly was agreeing with you, partner, but they'll call it otherwise. Houston certainly seeming like they're okay slowing things down here on this drive. Kind of a run-first approach here. Kind of flip-flopping back and forth on what they want to do here.
It's going to be 3rd down and 4. Lakeman, as a result, is going to throw here out of the heavy set. He's got heaps of time. Sends it downfield. It is incomplete. And they'll feel a little bit hard done by because originally thought like that was going to be a sort of 3rd down and 2 situation. It ends up being a 4. It changes the concept there out of the playbook. And as a result, they're going to punt this one back. No reward really off the Jason Peace turnover.
Yeah, none at all. You hate to see it. If you're a defense, you're going right back out there After making such a big play, great field position for your offense, they just can't do anything. But, I mean, that's just a part of it when you're a defense, right? And I'll tell you what, I feel like this game is just flying by, Jacob. It felt like that first quarter went by in a flash. The second quarter already over 3 minutes down as Carolina takes the field again. Pajak's certainly going to be wary of the middle of the field now.
Sorry, the one turnover. We'll just try and shake that off here in this next possession. Bravado is nailed. There's that linebacking core again in company with one of the defensive backs as well. Some support there up front by John Barnhart. Was he the one that went down on that last drive? I think he may have been. So he's straight back out there.
Rattle my brain, yeah. Good to see that.
Good sign for Houston's medical team. They don't have to deal with that any longer. It'll be hand off in the middle. McBride, nothing on offer. Loses a yard there that was gained. And they are all over this ground game. It's not a linebackers. In fact, Kai Cash is going to be credited with that tackle for loss.
Cash, someone who is terrific when it comes to the coverage game here in Houston. Top 3 in interceptions in the entirety of the SFL. Getting paid for his rush support here now as well.
Third down long for Pajak. He's gone. Sacked in the backfield. That defensive line pressure has been threatening so far today. Don Raw gets the sack. And Carolina, they're exchanging blows, but not positive ones.
Yeah, and that's Roar's first of the season. This Houston defense has been great at applying pressure. On the other side of that, though, Carolina, they've only got sacked 4 times in their 2 losses. Makes it a 5th there. That's something they need to get control of quickly in this game, Jacob, because if they let Pajak get pressured as a rookie, it's just going to make things a lot harder for him.
Oh, look out, Sim. Good return. Nearly broke that one off entirely. And Carolina are going to start their defense inside their own half.
Averages 35 yards per kick return. Of course, that was a punt return, but his special teams prowess is, I'd argue, unmatched across the SFL.
Both games of high quality. Birmingham have just tied the game with 16 seconds left in the first half. That game 10 points all. This one 7 points to 3. Both tracking very similarly at the moment, oddly enough. And on the outside, that is incomplete. A good effort by Sim up front, but the Carolina secondary has answered the call. Introduced the rest of that defense. They haven't done it yet. LJ Hobbs, Skylar Dawson, Phil Hall and Christopher Cologne on the defensive line. Danny Stinson, Mojo McLean and Trevon Prasad, your linebackers. Dre Pope, Tristan Hatley, Davidson Joseph, Skip Palmer, Mike Ryan, and Rochelle Colston, the secondary. There's a screen again, and he is nailed in the backfield by Mojo McLean and support from Tristan Hatley as well. And Houston are facing now a 3rd down and long.
Hatley, the one that made that last big hit on Sim to force the incompletion. Again, getting involved. A great display there, back-to-back plays.
Lakeman, a quick throw. He's found his receiver there in Mac Chima for 14 of the required 12.
There we go. Lakeman getting the ball to some of his other receivers. Despite the target share generally going in Sim's direction, this is a very loaded receiving room. Whenever the others have to get involved, they're more than happy to get involved.
Empty back set here for Houston. Lakeman outside, it is caught, and they're in the red zone. Inside the 15-yard line goes Chima. Back-to-back carries for him.
The pressure was breathing down the neck of John Lakeman. Hopefully we get another look at it. We won't. But Chima, a great play. I mean, terrific coverage from Davidson Joseph. You can't get much better than that, right? But Mac Chima still able to get his hands far out in front of the defender. A great placed ball from Lakeman to keep it away from the defender. Still able to pull that one in despite the blanketed coverage.
Lakeman going for it all here in zone, and there was so many great jerseys there, it wasn't even funny. And Rochelle Colston will get a pass deflection as a result. I'm not sure about the decision there.
We talked about how potent, lack thereof, that this Houston offensive line has been in protecting John Lakeman. That's back-to-back plays where that edge rusher has been breathing down Lakeman's neck.
Caught by Chima, steps inside, and he's broken the top 10 all time.
Hits 90 in the top 10, like you said, a huge play. His entire target share on this game coming on that drive. He is the reason they got down the majority of this field, and he shows his athleticism here. Just a 2-yard out, and speaking of out, may see a challenge flag here. We do. As the replay was playing, Jacob, I do think this is going to get called back. Oh, no.
I reckon these two are going to be stuck on 89.
Stuck on 89 forever, yes.
Really, well, until you don't get a game, perhaps. You won't get the magic call.
No, don't curse me with that. I definitely think it was out. I don't think it was really close.
Yeah, he did.
He almost ran into the poor guy holding the chains there.
He did. He should be spotted about 4 yards shy of the end zone. It'll be a 2nd down and short as well.
See, now the real storybook ending here would be Corky getting the touchdown.
Oh, imagine. Imagine the locker room if that was what happened here.
See, now my fingers are almost crossed.
I will look at a running set here on the 2nd and short. It is Warren Murray in the backfield. Toss play to the outside. Oh, he missed! And it's a touchdown! It was a great read by Mojo McLean, but he couldn't make the tackle. And Warren Murray has Houston's first major score on the board, and they've taken the lead.
Warren Murray, the warhorse, swats that away like a bug near his ear. And such great defensive play up to this point from Shervon Prasad. Would have been his 200th tackle for loss on his career, but a huge play from the offense. Despite them, not being able to punch it in on that last play, they just stick with their style of offense. They keep it on the ground. They don't get too focused on the outside world, and they punch that one in.
Houston takes the lead here, 10 points to 7. Wild game in Miami. The Stingrays took the lead on the stroke of halftime thanks to a Nick Twice kick return touchdown. Birmingham starts the second half there with the football. And meanwhile over here in Raleigh, Houston have snatched the lead themselves. Here is Carolina will return again through Leland Akai, who runs straight into a pair of Headhunters special teams members, and will get it up to the 25-yard line.
I feel like if you're Carolina here, Jacob, you really need a sustained drive. I mean, they've been struggling a bit in this one. We really haven't seen the ground game produce much of anything, really struggling against a very strong defensive front of Houston up to this point in the game. Having to rely on the rookie. I mean, he's having a great display, 75% completion, but whenever the game is on your rookie's back, it's always a little shaky.
3.5 minutes left in the opening half here. Pajak to throw. Blocking nearly collapsed on him, and he ended up finding a reasonable target there across the middle, but the jar from behind by Barnhart enough to prevent that one from being a completion.
So yeah, definitely confirming he is back now. And a great play, able to get his hand in despite being behind the route. Great physicality there from the corner.
Going to maintain this empty triple formation here. Stack of 4 receivers to Pajak's right. And it's Curtis at the top on his own. It'll be thrown to the outside. A bit of a wonky one there. And it'll be incomplete. Coverage good enough there. It'll be a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, the defense for Houston showed man coverage all the way. Carolina trying to find it out. You see them motion across the field, and they saw the defender follow in suit. Didn't let the wide receiver go anywhere without him being there to cover, and they still couldn't take advantage of it knowing that that man coverage was there.
Triple to the top side here. Pajak to throw. Intercepted. Houston's got another turnover from number 8. It's going to be returned all the way almost. Shut down at the last second there. It was a really good opportunity for Al Ingram to string a 6-pointer on the end of it, but either way, huge break for Houston.
I'll tell you what, partner, I thought Ingram was gone all the way. After that broken tackle, I thought it was going to be all sunshine and rainbows. And someone's going to have to talk to Don Rohr there. If he makes one more block, that's going to be a touchdown for Houston. But, I mean, it's still great position, field position regardless. Right outside the 20, and it's going to be hard to leave with no points after this turnover this time.
They've got heaps of time to do it, of course, and they're already on the precipice of the red zone. Drop back by Lakeman, throws across, it's caught by Sim, and Houston's got back-to-back scores.
Such a terrific play call there. Sim is the one to end up punching it in out of this receiving core. What else would you expect, right? Great combination of routes there. You have Sim running the seam up the middle while you have the cross from the other side of the field that draws the attention of the linebacker playing in the middle of the field towards that crossing route. And in that moment of distraction, that's when Lakeman attacks the seam, and that's why it was so low.
The extra point is successful. Took one play to get the major score they were after.
Despite his nickname being the Doctor, B.R. Sim is killing folks this season, Jacob. Such an explosive start to the season 26.
Good return there from Nakai. She's been a danger on those. So Carolina, they had the lead thanks to that Chase Earl touchdown in the opening half, and now they've seen them score twice upon and now find themselves down by 2 scores.
I mean, now you really need something. We've already seen mistakes start to pile in Houston's favor as Carolina. I mean, we talked about how the pressure could get to the rookie if he's going to be the main factor in getting them in this ball game. And it seems like that pressure may be really wailing on him, that last interception setting that tone.
Stack receives down the bottom. Bravado with some room. It's his best carry so far of the game. That'll be a 6-yard pickup.
I like the delayed handoff there, especially after the motion. Made trips to the bottom side of the screen, and you're just trying to mix up the defense, make them think pass, and then just run it down their throat. Really nice play call and a nice way to mix things up for a rushing game that really hasn't been able to produce in this one.
See if I can get McBride going here on the second down pick up. That'll not get anything. In fact, they'll lose a yard there off the outside handoff. Nothing wrong with the play call, but Houston's defensive front answers the call once again.
Yeah, one of the best defensive units here in the SFL. You can talk about every level of this defense and have nothing but good things to say.
Pajak under pressure, escapes. Can he get there? He's chased from behind. What an effort there by one of the linebackers to shut that from behind. And Carolina are going to have to punt it away again. Stunning piece of defense there. Houston's going to get another shot at the Skyhawks here on the back end of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best, partner. I mean, you saw the pressure there from Roar. The offensive line for Carolina there just did as much as they could, really, with the extra defenders that Carolina had in that box as well, applying pressure. And they held them off as long as they could. Just no one open downfield. The secondary for Houston continuing what has been a great day. And Miko Pajak eventually has to take off and gets chased down. Just not what you want. I mean, it just feels like they're playing with such urgency and, you know, such angst, but not in a good way. It's affecting them negatively.
Houston's going to start in the end. Do you suspect they should get aggressive here at the back end of the half? So what DeMont Simeon has up the sleeve here. Lakeman looks across, it's caught. Corky, a beautiful catch.
And you can't get much better than that. Led a little bit too far there by Lakeman, but that's where he had to place the ball. The linebacker in the middle of the field was making, I believe that was Mike Ryan actually, trying to make his way back over to the route to try and get a hand on things. And it was just far enough away from him for Corky to be the only one to get a hand on it.
Just past the 45, Lakeman rushes himself. The block disappeared.
Oh, my goodness.
Needed that tight end there to try and follow him, and he will get a few yards, get a bit closer to the first down marker. They're going to run through a timeout here from the Carolina side of things, rather.
Coaching staff going to have to bring out the water slide for Lakeman next practice and teach this young man to get down.
Always a bit of a risk there. They will hand the ball off to Warren Murray, who will get them the first down. That just resets things. 2nd to 3 timeouts called.
Great vision by Murray. Looked like an outside power. Supposed to cut that to the outside, but Murray saw the hole towards the inside, so he makes that jab step, attacks what the opportunity he has, and it's enough to get that first down and keep the chains going.
Single back triple to the right-hand side. Lakeman throws downfield. Incomplete look for Sim. And it is no good on that occasion. 72 seconds remaining on the first half of the clock. Carolina trying to hold things here to a 2-score deficit as they approach half-time. Triple to the right-hand side. Peace is going to be motioned across. She hasn't had a look yet. The only receiver in this Houston offense yet to have a reception. Drop back by Lakeman. Maybe now's her time. It's caught in the middle of the field past the 30. And it was caught by Corky. And now they will go back to it here. 28 yards away from the end zone stripe. Lakeman throws again towards Corky. This time they read it.
Yeah. You know, Houston may be thinking in the back of their head that challenge that failed previously on in the half, may come back to bite them as they're having to go full all out now as far as their offensive play calling goes.
They can change the formation here, but they didn't, so they'll maintain this triple look here. Drop back by Lakeman, under pressure, got it away! It is caught inside the 10 and rolling the shoulder. There was DR Sim. He's 5 for 91. 8 to go. Lakeman throws into incomplete looks for Sim, and it is broken up by Mike Ryan.
You have to take advantage of that. Houston is inside the 10. They're trying to push the lead even further, make your deficit even more. You have the chance to stop them and you're down.
They'll keep this triple formation. It has gotten them all the way down here. Lakeman to throw again. Pressure intercepted at the 5. Danny Stinson won a first half from the Carolina linebacker.
What athleticism from the linebacker. Oh, man. Oh, it didn't even look like the jump was that high, but for a guy of his size and stature, it is not the easiest to make. And that time the advantage is taken in full effect, keeping this game relatively close going into half.
He single-handedly kept him in the game. He's had 7 tackles and now the interception to ensure it's, as things stand anyway, to maintain a 2-score deficit entering halftime. He has been tremendous in the middle of the park. That pass incomplete there. It'll set up a 2nd and 10. Surely they just go to the ground here to settle the tension just a touch and take what they have in a half-time to allow themselves to reset, but they're going to maintain a single back look. They're going to go empty here. Aggressive from Mikal Pajak. He's in his own end zone. It is incomplete. Looked like the corner had a play on it there, but it is incomplete. Barnhart himself has had a really good half since the injury.
Yeah, I mean, aggressive is the word to describe this offense right now for sure. Pajak is moving in the pocket that is collapsing around him in the end zone. I mean, he stands strong in the pocket that's collapsing at risk of safety, and he's still able to fire it out.
Single back triple formation. Pajak throws, it's caught!
Wow.
Hits Chris Curtis at the 20.
What concentration there. You're going to see the sea of headhunters that are in the area. Just as many gray jerseys, but they were all looking downfield trying to continue their routes. Thankfully for Pajak, Chris Curtis had his head on a swivel and was able to pull that one in despite the very crowded right side of the field.
They didn't stop the clock here. We'll see if Carolina call another play. They do. It'll be a handoff to Bravado, and that will be a first half scoreline. Bit of a cracker here in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Skyhawks, they led and now they trail at halftime. Houston has the lead over them 17 points to 7. Plenty to look forward to in the second half here at David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium. DJ Kilgannon, your keys to that opening half.
Yeah, I mean, really, when it comes down to is the mistakes here for Paycheck, right? I mean, his yards and such don't look that bad. 7 completions, 115 yards. They're having decent averages per completion, right? But the 2 interceptions are really just really pulling at them. It's like a weight pulling them down to the bottom of an ocean. They're doing well distributing the ball to different defenders, but they just cannot keep it out of the hands of this Houston defense. Jason Peace and Al Ingram both getting an interception early on in the game. And they just need to clean things up offensively, and this passing attack of Lakeman and company is certainly shredding their back half a little bit more than maybe expected.
Second half to get underway here at David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm Jacob Clear. That is DJ Kilgannon, Eddie Gage, and Ron Haynes running stats for us this evening from the stats booth. And Commissioner Cameron Irvine producing for us. As always, you are watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Carolina to receive honours here to start the second half. Leland Lakai to return this from the end zone, and we'll get it up to the 25-yard line. So this one's entertaining. Bit of a crazy game over in Miami as well. Birmingham football, they have encroached in Miami's 30-yard line. That game all knotted up at 24 apiece with the third quarter winding down. This one within 10 points here. Carolina football trying to bring it back to a single score on this particular possession. Payjack in a single, triple formation. They're going to stack these 3 receivers to the bottom. They've shown this before as a running look. But Payjack's going to throw this time. It is into double coverage. It nearly flips to be the backside there of John Barnhart off the hands of Incognito.
Yes, able to get a hand on it there. Incognito at the end of that one. An attempt to attack the middle of the field again, something they struggled with in that first half.
Go back off to the right-hand side this time. They're going to motion again out of this formation. Hand off to the outside. Bravado, no good. That'll be a third down and long there as John Barnhart cleans up there on the run defense.
Still playing some good football after recovering from the injury early, clearly back to 100%. And Barnhart making a nice display in the rushing attack here for this Houston defense. The corner getting involved a lot.
Payjack got it! First down and then some for the receiver there, and Adam Banks. Let's check in with the Miami game. Commissioner Cameron Irvine's got a highlight for us.
Thank you, Jacob. Nick twice has a kick return touchdown and a receiving touchdown in this game. Both teams have a kick return touchdown
for Nick twice.
It's all
there as Miami made it 24-17, but it's Birmingham football all knotted up at 24 apiece as looks like the Hellhounds have got the ball with goal to go. Payjack to throw again into one-on-one, and it is incomplete there. It deflected away. John Barnhart again.
Yeah, again making such a huge play. Barnhart leaving their fingerprints all over this drive.
Into an empty set here again. 3 receivers at the top of Payjack. He's going to swing it. It's caught by Curtis. Up past the 35. He nearly broke that one off entirely. In fact, it's Bravado, the reverse of 84. The fullback was in that spot.
Now Bravado has been used a boatload in this game now, making their money in the passing game. A huge catch and tight coverage against Incognito. Gets a little bit shifty after the catch as well. Tries to break towards the sideline, but finally gets cleaned up. Carolina really starting to get a well-sustained drive going now.
And off to the outside. That's a good stiff arm up front to shake off the opening defender like McBride with that run. into a Joker's formation here. There'll be a run and nothing on offer there. They'll get a yard out of that touch. Blake B. Craze shuts that one down.
These linebackers for Houston, again, making huge plays. I feel like every time they're involved on the tackle, Jacob, it's right at about the line of scrimmage or a little bit after.
Pajak to try and get him out of trouble. It is incomplete. Just overshot that one. Trying to find the money man on that opening score that they had there in Chase Earl, who's been quiet since. But no good. Are they in Malone Brown territory? They are. It'll be a 45-yard attempt, so regardless, they will make an attempt to get away with this one and draw it back to a single-score lead. That swinger is good. Brown makes it 17 points to 10.
We've seen Malone Brown had a miss last week, and certainly cleaning things up. Got that leg right in this one, a pretty uncommon miss. That one goes through the uprights clean. Not really a question about it, and thankfully, you look back at that turnover in Carolina's favor just before the half, and thanks to that, and that field goal, of course, it is still a one-possession game.
Houston, the returner, past the 25 to the 30 there from Corky. So can Carolina's defense get the ball back here nice and quickly and just put some pressure on the Headhunters again? They had the momentum early and then just sort of teed it out for a moment there and allowed Houston to get back into the game. Those turnovers from Pajak really hurt. They've got a Malone Brown field goal on the board here to keep things within arm's length. Into an empty set here, 3 wide to the top. Lakeman to throw, he was pressured. Good block by the guard, and he's got the receiver downfield. Huge play by the Headhunters, and it is Matt Chima inside Carolina territory. But check out Scott Calvin here.
See the block there, just protecting Lakeman long enough for that route to develop. The left side of the field, that's Joseph again. He's been getting targeted quite a bit. Kind of surprising considering his good performance last week, but most of those targets are going in the favor of Houston.
Sarah Bergens as well with a huge block. Lakeman again, downfield, got it. This passing attack is on fire. DR Sim has them back inside the 5-yard line.
Once again, attacking in the middle of the field. You see Mike Ryan coming down from his free safety spot right there. I mean, the throw was just perfect. It couldn't have been led any farther without Ryan having a chance to get his hands on it.
See how Sim eclipses the century mark here.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Lakeman, oh, he got it away. It was collapsing, and eventually he got it away. Shrevant Broussard nearly had that milestone tackle for loss here in rather miraculous circumstances. It falls away incomplete.
I was getting deja vu to a Logan Gardner interception there, Jacob, but that one falls to the turf unharmed after the big man gets up.
A handoff is not going to get much there. Mike Ryan with another really important play. And the 3rd down and 11 means that Carolina have got a good opportunity here just to hold the fort.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to hold at the end of the half. Feel like another hold would be absolutely huge for the morale of this defense. A lot of motion now.
Punch to the left-hand side. Lakeman to throw, end zone, in and out of hands, and Hatley nearly had it.
I mean, we talked about deja vu earlier. We had a missed opportunity to get an interception on the last attempt at a stop for Carolina. But this time, they won't have a chance to get the interception after the field goal is up for Houston.
And that negates that Malone Brown chip shot, so we'll go back to a 10-score lead for the Headhunters.
Just feels like Houston is... It feels like a mismatched boxing fight at this point. Houston has the reach advantage, and they're just, staying just far enough so that Carolina can't get a knockout blow in. Keeping that hand to the face of Carolina, pushing them back ever so slightly every once in a while. The extra field goals just pushing them, keeping that 10-point pillow, if you will, for Houston and Carolina now. I mean, going back and forth.
I feel Carolina are going to be hunting for a major score in the very near future. They're going to start here at an empty back set. Pajak the throw. Oh, too heavy. And it was nearly incomplete. In fact, the speed of the pass is probably what saved him there, as it was nearly intercepted by Chris Henry.
Yeah, the Polish rifle, I mean, he fit up to the name and then some. That one looked like a bullet. Hit Chris Henry right in the chest. That'll bruise.
Bunch to the right-hand side. It will be a great run by Privado. Got some space on the outside and gets the first down.
It's certainly the longest of the day here for this Carolina offense. Like we had mentioned on the previous plays, their rushing attack especially really hasn't got anything going. That one will fix the averages a little bit and maybe keep this Houston defense honest later on.
Single back to the right-hand side. Fresh set of downs here for the Skyhawks, 34 yards away from their own goal line. And it will be a 2-yard carry up the middle.
Trying to, like we said, this Carolina offense, they're just trying to keep things balanced, right? I mean, it's just not working in their favor. Their rushing attack is lacking just something, right? And it may not even be lacking. I think it's just the fact that this Houston defensive front is so on par right now.
The front seven's tremendous. Handoff delay. That has worked for them today. Not on that occasion. It will only be a couple for Privado. It'll be a 3rd down and medium, 6 yards here.
One thing that makes their front seven so good is that hole was open. Burgor is able to notice it before it can happen, get off of his block, circle back around, and make the tackle only after just a few yards.
Bunch to the right. Pajak's got to get him out of trouble, and he threw it into a heavily covered area of the field, and it'll be deflected away by Al Ingram and company, and they will have to pump this one back away. They had too much defense there, Houston, and will just hold the fort again.
Yeah, Pajak had to get the ball out of his hands. The pressure from Houston in this one really being a factor, shaking the rookie to his core, making him second-guess things, right? And that pass felt just way too early. Tried to attack on the hitch, and it didn't help that there were several defenders there in the area for Houston. There was just no chance that one could have been completed.
So Houston will start another possession here at their own 30-yard line. The task becoming taller here for Carolina, the more possessions that they can't capitalize on. Corky is the motion man. They have stuck with this triple formation, rain, hail or shine. That run is not going to get much though. In fact, he's going to lose a pair as Warren Murray is dumped for a loss of 2 by Rochelle Colston.
All day these defensive backs for Carolina are, so quick to shoot towards the rushing attack here for Houston. Seems like that's what they game plan for.
Incomplete, great deflection. Sent that one away. It looked like it was Christopher Colon who stuck the hand up, and it'll be a 3rd down and 12. Carolina could get a really quick result here. Triple formation to the left-hand side. Lakeman to throw. Oh, he's gone! Sacked to the backfield. Back-to-back plays by the Carolina defensive line. And Phil Hall has a sack. And Carolina will get the football back via a punt straight away.
At this point in the season, still the only Skyhawk that has been able to secure a sack. We talked about how much this Houston front five has struggled when it has come to protecting John Lakeman. And that finally becomes a factor here closing in at the end of the 3rd quarter. Surprised it took that long, and we talked about who may win the battle when it came to that front 7 of Carolina, right, and that front 5 of Houston. Maybe still pending on the outcome after that sack, but the rushing attack for Houston has been there at points as well.
Carolina's defense has given them another opportunity out of here. Miami have tied the game up again in the oven block It is 31 apiece there, thanks to an Al Dillapre Sr. receiving touchdown. And this one projects to be on the lower side of the scoring tree, but certainly as entertaining. Pajak to throw. As a receiver, it is caught for a gain of 5 by, again, Bravado used as a bit of a pseudo tight end.
Yeah, getting a ton of work in that game as well. I mean, that's the second catch for over 30 yards. As far as yards go, the second leading receiver here on Carolina today.
2nd and 5. Looks like they may go to the ground here. Hand off to the outside. It's Ike McBride, and she is hammered at the line of scrimmage. A huge hit from Kai Cash.
Cash at this point in the season has really been an MVP here for Houston, and if he's able to keep getting hits like that and supporting in the run game as he has today, could seriously make an impact as the season progresses.
We go back to a normal eye. Jokers. Can Bravado provide? He will run to the outside, beats the first, and he's tackled out of bounds, but they're going to give him the first. Huge moment there. Houston has got a challenge if they want to exercise it, and Damon Simeon will. We'll have a second look at it.
The last challenge didn't go in their favor. Curious to see this one. I agreed with the original spot, but I'm sure this replay we're going to get here will give us a much better look at it. A lot of east to west running there. Cut that up north, and you probably are able to get it in front. It looked like the foot was over.
Persistence from behind. And it looks like the result may go Houston's way, thanks to Guy Incognito. And they'll go for a 4th and inches. And you imagine, given how they've gone today offensively, they probably go for this.
Yeah, I got to imagine so. You know, as the time is ticking away, still a ton of ball game left to be played. 3 and some change left in this third quarter. They will punt. I mean, they are behind. They are on their own side of the field. Yeah, they are on their own side of the field near that 50, but they are going to trust their defense. Maybe a decision we look back on, Jacob.
Tricky one there again. I thought they were a bit closer to halfway than what that actually indicated. So Houston will get the ball back here. 1 minute and 45 remaining in the third quarter. Well, they stopped them once before, but you just wonder how much juice is left in the tank here for this Carolina defense. Back to this favourite look here. Hand off to the outside. Warren Murray pursued from behind. Great hit from Shravan Prasad to upend Warren Murray.
Prasad been a little bit more quiet than usual today. He also did share that last sack with Phil Hall, so gets awarded for half of that. But before that, really hadn't been too involved, but came up in a big way on that sack, as well as that play shutting it down.
Down the outside, Sosa beats a tackle. Tino Sosa's up past halfway. Best run of the day for either offense.
There we go. And as this game progresses and as Houston has the lead, that's only going to help their running game out, right? It's going to be the focal point of their offense, and it's just going to keep producing. And a great block there from Hattori Hanzo out in front that lets that run keeping to develop towards the outside of the field. That run doesn't happen without Hanzo.
Carolina's defense starting to tie here. They're going to go back to the pass. It's over the top. Oh, great play from behind. It looked like Mike Ryan got a hand on it to jar it free from Greg Corky.
It was a great throw as well. You saw another leaping linebacker in the middle, nearly pulled down another one, but went over the head. And like you said, a great play from behind there. The corner trailed, but didn't give up at all.
They're going to keep the same look. Carolina again in their nickel. Lakeman under pressure. Got it! In between two grey jumpers is Corky. He made the most of that one.
I'll tell you what, Jacob. You're seeing the veteran presence in this quarterback room right now for John Lakeman. The pressure is there, as it has continued to be all night. He stands up strong. A former offensive rookie of the season. Certainly not a rookie anymore. Showing that veteran prowess. Doesn't let any pressure get to him.
Handoff to Murray. is met at the line of scrimmage. Only a gain of 2 there as Mojo McLean, who had support up front by the nickel back there, and appeared to be Dre Pope, the rookie. And that will be the end of the third quarter. Carolina desperately trying to hang on here in search of that first win of the campaign. Houston football, they're up by 10. Houston on the precipice of the red zone here. Hand off up the middle, not much there on offer, and it'll be a 3rd down and long as Tino Sosa couldn't get much for them there. Carolina hold out. The worst case scenario here is they're still down by 2 major scores. Lakeman, it is incomplete. The pressure got there. Tense moment across David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium, and Houston are going to have to kick the field goal.
We've talked all night in length at this point about this Carolina pressure that they've been able to provide, and it's just not enough. But on that play, it was always breathing down the back of his neck or almost getting there. Right, it was never actually hitting him apart from just a few times. That time they get there just as the ball is getting out of Lakeman's hands, and they are the ones that are able to bend and not break as Houston extends their lead just a little bit more, like we said, keeping him at arm's length here. Still a 2-touchdown ball game for a Carolina lead, though.
Carolina have got to make something of it now. Lili Nakai on the return. Gets past one. They wrapped her up, though. She's threatened to do that a few times tonight. Carolina will start this drive just beyond the 25-yard line.
I mean, it almost feels there's still a ton of time left in this fourth quarter, but it feels like this is going to be a really important drive here for the implications of the rest of this game, because we know if Houston gets the ball back, they're going to do nothing but run that rock. At this point in the game, Houston just wants to chew that clock away. So Carolina certainly needs some points and in a hurry.
Single back to the right-hand side. Pajak will hand it off to Mateo Privado, who will run cross-field and will get 5 out of that touch. So absolutely right. They're going to keep the offense balanced here down the stretch. We've known that Pajak has had problems holding onto the football tonight. Going to shake all of that off now down the stretch. And off to the outside. Ike McBride gets past 1, and she will get a yard shy of the line to gain. 3rd down and 1 upcoming.
Big play here. One of the most important we have seen all day up to this point for Carolina. I'd love to see them just punch it right up the middle. You see Mateo Privado in the backfield. Could be just right up the middle.
Privado, outside run. They got him!
Oh.
Short of the line to gain. Blake B. Craze.
Wow. Such a display by the headhunter defense. They fit up to their name. Multiple defenders get there before they even pass the line of scrimmage. I mean, the hit was made, broke off of it. A great play there for Privado to be able to break that tackle, but Blake B. Craze just stayed with the play the entire time and made a huge one in the favor of Houston. They punted, and Houston has a chance to completely shut this one away with another score. It feels like things are scary for Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, the game's obviously not over, but you can't help but point out the fact that Carolina's defense has given them opportunities tonight to try and get back into this game. There's still plenty of time on the clock, but the effort becomes a little more insurmountable as every second trickles down to that clock. Another up front tackle, Mojo McLean. They are doing everything they can, this Carolina defense, to stay in the contest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're not going to go out without a fight. Shocked here to see doubles, though. No one in the backfield.
Yeah. Aggressive.
Yeah, 5 wide. Wow.
from Lakeman, who's had turnover problems of his own tonight, but that's an easy one across the middle to find DR Sim for a gain of 6.
Unofficially, 16 targets going towards the way of DR Sim on that completion.
Lakeman 18 of 35, approaching the 300-yard mark. And once again, we are looking at the case that those two receivers we mentioned in pre-game may not eclipse that top 10 of all time. Huge play. Third down is unsuccessful. Trevon Broussard's got the milestone tackle for loss. And Carolina are going to get another opportunity here.
You said it best, partner. 200 on the career for Trevon Broussard with that sack. Such speed around the edge. The tackle didn't even have a chance to get a hand on him before Lakeman was on the ground. You talked about it, Jacob, just before that play. The defense of Carolina has given their offense opportunities. Here's another one right in their lap. Let's see if they can take advantage of it, just shy of the 50.
And stunning field position as well. Lena Kai is nearly going to break off another return. She is 3 yards shy of halfway. Miami Birmingham's gone to overtime. The Stingrays had the ball inside Birmingham territory, went for it on a 4th and 1, took a sack, and Birmingham now have the football in the first period of overtime on the other side of this block. And meanwhile here in Raleigh, Carolina have got an opportunity here. They need 53 yards to get a major score back, and all of a sudden it's game on here at David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium. A quality game block here to start your SFL Super Saturday here for week 4. Single back to the right-hand side. Pajak to throw across the middle. It is caught a short gain of 4 for Adam Banks.
Carolina needs to keep things consistent. One thing we talked a little bit about earlier is how slow this offense is playing, Jacob. They need an explosive play or two. They need to try and take the top off of this defense.
Just been a little bit too conservative at times here, Carolina. It's going to be a fullback run up the middle and won't get a great deal of yardage there. Again, this Houston linebacking core has been stellar tonight. 3rd down and 4.
4 tackles. It feels like much more for Peace. Been all over the place.
It's been between him and Craze tonight to shut down this run game. Pajak got it. First down. They needed that. Their last 3 3rd downs were unsuccessful, and Chase Earl has them inside Houston territory again.
And we talked about that need for explosiveness here in Carolina's offense. Coming into this week, they have a league worst 9 yards per reception.
Pajak's got a receiver downfield. Adam Banks, touchdown Carolina.
Wow, just as it leaves my lips about how bad they are with their explosive plays, they completely flip that narrative and cut the lead down to just a touchdown, pending that extra point. And Adam Banks catches that one in after a huge broken tackle to separate themselves and cross the goal line.
They're back within a single score. The extra point from Malone Brown is successful. No doubt we'll get a game update at some point, but Birmingham has stolen it in overtime. They will win on the road at Miami 34-31. That one ends the Northrop Call of the Week. A miraculous one, as it always seems to be for them. And this one is starting to heat up here. A little under 5 minutes to go. And Carolina have strung together 3 defensive stops in a row. And they now need to get a 4th together to try and snatch this win here at home and get their first win of the new campaign. Drop back by Lakeman. They're throwing again here, Houston. Downfield, it is caught by Sim. He is a couple yards shy of the 45-yard line. Gutsy play call, but it converts.
Yeah, huge play. And, you want to say a risky one, right? The long developing post route downfield. You need your offensive line to stand up and hold strong, which we've seen them struggle to do all season at this point. But they hold strong enough there for Lakeman to make that play.
Hand off to the outside. That is going to be a gain of 2. They now go to the ground here with Sosa. Stinson again has been everywhere. Single back, triple formation. Pace yet to be targeted still. Hand off up the middle. It'll be a gain of 4. Warren Murray, some crucial yardage there up the middle, but Carolina an opportunity to get the stop here.
Yeah, I mean, Houston leaving a ton of receivers out there on the field. They will go to offset I form here. As I say that, a heavy box coming. Same with this Carolina defense.
Crucial, they don't have a starting running back in the running back spot. Sosa is the fullback. It'll go to Sosa, and he's short. Wow. Carolina have got to stop Stinson again.
Oh, man, just shy. Maybe we see that another challenge come in this quarter. Houston takes
They have no challenges left, but they can go for it on 4th down. They've got the starters back out there, you would suspect. It should be Murray in the backfield. Toss play. Murray got it. Second time they've converted a 4th and inches today.
And both times have been to that pitch. You know, we saw them on both 3rd down attempts prior to the conversion attempt, run it right up the middle, and both times it was stopped. They then go to the pitch both times, and they converted both times.
I'll go to the empty here. Lakeman to throw short, caught. There's that little dump off to Sim, and it'll be a gain of 6. Keeps the clock running under 2.5.
I like it though. You know, despite the initial reading on trying to chew the clock out, they do continue to pass. It's been pretty surefire over the middle though. If you know it's going to be caught, you might as well.
Two-minute warning here. Carolina fast running out of time, but they got all 3 of their timeouts here, but they need to get a defensive stop in the next couple of plays. Go back to this offset Ajax look. Carolina need to send the house. Toss play to Murray. Got past 1. Can he roll the shoulder? He does.
Huge first down for them, and a great run once again from this Houston offense. Saw them struggle early on, and the stats don't pop off the paper, Jacob, but it feels like their rushing attack, I mean, especially late in this ball game, completely controlling the tempo, and sometimes that's all you need your offense to do.
Now into a joker's look. It'll be with Murray. Beats the first. He's nailed from behind. Huge response from Carolina. They call their 2nd timeout. Let's get that final game update from Miami.
Oh, Jacob, it pains me, but Jordan Goodman to Dylan Lewis down the field in overtime. What a thriller in Miami, but Birmingham's undefeated season stays alive. They kick a game winner and win 34-31.
Meanwhile, the run up the middle, it will get a yard shy. Carolina call their final timeout. DJ, it has to happen now.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll just, it has to, right? Even if it does, Houston just takes the field goal, and then you need something even more miraculous to happen if you're a Carolina faithful. But you need a huge play right now in a huge way.
The toss play's been hard to stop tonight, but they've got it here. 4th down and 1. They will force them to a field goal. There's life, there's hope.
Sure is. I mean, you're going to go to that pitch enough times in short down in scenarios where eventually this defense will learn their lesson and try and stop it. That time they do. But like we had said before, the field goal will come out. Sonny J, perfect on the season up to this point.
He could get from 41 away. Carolina will have just over a minute. From left to right, Jay makes it. And it is a 9-point lead for the Houston Headhunters.
Certainly not impossible, but certainly improbable. You're going to need a quick recovery and score. A quick recovery and score in just over a minute here if you're Carolina, especially with their lack of explosiveness, in their offense. It almost feels just a little bit too far out of reach, and it feels like that analogy we've been using of Houston keeping it just out of the hands of Carolina may have worked in their favor.
Triple formation here for Mikael Pajak. They need to make quick work of it here. Short drop back. Got a receiver! Downfield! It's Banks again! He's past the 40 to the 30. He's pursued from behind. He's going to have to trail out of bounds at the 10.
Wow, I mean, that's Carolina's longest reception of the season by a huge margin. Completely flips the field in their favor. Jacob, we said it. Not impossible, but improbable. Carolina could do the improbable. Oh, man.
Can they get the major score here? They need 10 yards. Banks has delivered again. Pajak throws end zone. Call it! Carolina have got a score. Chris Curtis. And they've got an onside kick coming.
Skyhawk faithful, do you believe in miracles? Oh, man. Talk about the lack of explosiveness just for a huge play to ensue. A 71-yard check cashed into the Adam Banks. And they have a shot, Jacob. Oh, man.
They're within 3. They need to get an onside kick recovered here. Everything riding on this as Carolina trying to snatch their first win of the season. Is going to be recovered by Houston. Credit to Mac Chima.
Oh, man. Not all fairy tales end in happy endings, unfortunately.
And Houston will go into victory formation. That will start the campaign 3-0. And Carolina, I mean, it's their best crack that they've had at it, really, you feel. And they fell on just short. Left it a little bit too late to get the offense going. They had their opportunities. Again, their defense produced some crucial stops.
Oh, man. This is a long-standing historic matchup here. Not divisional by any means, but 7 total meetings leading all the way back to season 6. And out of those 7 meetings, this is the second time Houston has picked up a win and the first time either of these teams have won on the road.
What a cracking pair of games here to start your Saturday evening here on the Virtual Football Network. Houston has snatched it 26 points to 24 here at David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium. DJ Kilgannon, your final thoughts on that game?
I mean, to put it briefly here, my friend, it felt like just too little too late. Imagine if they had one of those 71-yard receptions in any of the other quarters, right? But sometimes you just need a little bit of pressure on your back to make some things happen. The rookie Mikael Pajak comes up in a huge way at the end of that one to make things look a lot closer than they would have otherwise. A 14-point fourth quarter there for Carolina, and nearly a storybook ending for these Skyhawks to get their first win.
Football, we've got it here on the Virtual Football Network. The 2-1 Washington Trident will take on the 2-1 Arizona Scorpions at 9 p.m. Eastern with Tyler Falk and Mark Lopez on that call. And then Anchorage will take on Mexico City with Brandon Walters and DJ Kilgannon. For myself, Jacob Clear, and DJ Kilgannon in co-commentary this evening, we say thank you to Ron Haynes and Eddie Gage on stats this evening. This one ends here at Raleigh, North Carolina. Houston Headhunters 26, Carolina Skyhawks 24.